We start tonight with the ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee. He is Congressman Adam Smith, back with us once again. Congressman, it is always nice to see you. Your summer recess, I appreciate you taking out the time to be with us tonight. As I sort of lay some of it, not all of it out there, obviously, that is some of the backdrop. And I wonder, from your perch at the House Armed Services Committee, what your expectations are going into this.
Well, I don't think a lot's going to come out of it. I think President Trump has really sort of lowballed expectations in recent days. His conversations with Zelensky and with Europe sort of show that. I don't think it's particularly bad that they have the conversation. What's bad to date is that President Trump has not shown, I think, the unity behind Ukraine to really put pressure on Putin. I think some of the things they said, obviously, early in the Trump administration that sort of tried to blame the war on Ukraine, undermine Zelensky, undermine them, embolden Putin. So I'm hoping we're reversing course on that now and putting pressure on Putin. President Trump has threatened sanctions against Russia before, has not done anything along those lines. I think we need to make clear to President Putin the U.S. is with Ukraine, and we're with our 53-nation alliance that is standing with Ukraine as well. Go ahead.
Do you think those sanctions are coming? Because that's sort of what the president is holding over Putin, saying if this doesn't wrap up at some point in the near future here, these sort of secondary tariffs that could devastate the Russian economy would be coming.
It's really hard to say because there's been a big shift in the Trump administration position. You saw those first few months when it was, they periodically froze some assistance that we were giving Ukraine. Trump attempted to distance us from the European allies who were fighting with us. It was all positive signals for Putin. And then just in the last month and a half, as it dawned on President Trump that President Putin is not actually serious about peace, he's beginning to shift some of that rhetoric. So it's hard to know at this point where President Trump is going. Where he needs to go is, like I said, stand behind Ukraine, put the pressure on Putin, use sanctions if you have to force Putin to negotiate an end to this war. It's not going to happen if Putin thinks there's no pressure on him and he can just take the rest of Ukraine when he wants to.
Here was Zelensky today. He said Putin definitely doesn't want peace. He wants to occupy our country, and we all understand that very well. I mentioned you're the ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee. Is that how you see it? Is that your assessment?
Yes, right now, but there's one important caveat to that. If the cost appears too high, then Putin has to change his calculation. And frankly, the cost has already risen much higher than President Putin thought it was going to be over 3 years ago when he started this invasion. Remember, the plan was to take Kyiv in a matter of days,
right?
Not even weeks. That got stalled. Now Russia is suffering appalling casualties. Their economy is completely dependent upon the war, and that is beginning to weaken. You see inflation going up. You see the value of the ruble going down. So he is under some pressure. If that pressure gets great enough, then that's when he has to come to the table and try to negotiate a deal. And that's something that I do hope that the Trump administration now understands.
So let me leave you with this. What does success look like, Congressman? Because they're gonna meet on Friday. That's the expectation. The president today even suggesting maybe a follow-up after that. There could be a meeting with the three of them at some point. But as it relates to Friday, and we're talking about success, that leads to or looks like what?
Well, obviously, the ultimate success would be a ceasefire. But I don't think we should set that expectation. What success looks like is President Trump delivering the clear message that I just described. Success looks like Putin walking away from this going, whatever the Trump administration was in January, February, and March and beyond, that seemed to be giving me a green light in Ukraine, that's gone. I have to recalculate. Success looks like standing up strong against Putin's invasion of Ukraine. And that's what needs to happen at this summit.
Congressman Adam Smith, ranking member, House Armed Services Committee. Hope we get to talk to you on Friday, if not some point next week as well. Appreciate the time. Thank you, sir.
Happy to. Always appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.